What is going on, baseball fans? Here for the Baseball Banter Broadcast. And on this video, we're going to be looking at 3 takeaways from the National League Championship Series between the Philadelphia Phillies and San Diego Padres, Game 2. So we begin looking at takeaway number 1. Now, there's no doubt about it that for Philadelphia, Aaron Nola really struggled. And it added to it with the bullpen struggles for Philadelphia. Now, when you look at what Nola has been so far, especially through this postseason, this has been one of the main points for the Philadelphia Phillies. Having good starts from Zach Wheeler and Aaron Nola have been the bedrock of their success. But last night, it would really turn to the other side of the picture. When you look at the fact that Nola would give up 6 runs, I believe, in that game yesterday, he would have 7 2/3 innings, give up 2 home runs. He would have 6 strikeouts, but this is the way that the Phillies lost this game. When their starters aren't able to really give them length and be able to mitigate how many relievers are coming out of that bullpen, it's really going to hurt the Philadelphia Phillies' chances of winning. Now, I think that there's also a lot to look at when it comes to how well the Padres did in terms of attacking Nola and attacking that bullpen. So I think that a lot of credit has to be given to the Padres. But the simple fact is that for the Philadelphia Phillies, starting pitching is going to be of the utmost importance because you don't want to get... Yes, like I said yesterday, it wouldn't have mattered. They were building up this 4-run lead where the Phillies and ultimately Nola would stumble, and we would see the Phillies kind of lose this game in the beginning when Nola started to give those runs up that second through the order. So for Philadelphia, like I said, of the utmost importance is going to be what they get out of their starting pitchers. Now, takeaway number 2. As I said just a moment ago, we have to give credit to the San Diego Padres. Their bats really this game. There was a lot of questions as to what their stars were going to be able to do coming out of kind of the dismal performance that they had in Game 1. But they would really turn it on in this game. When you look at the way that this team really went after it, everyone except for Trent Grisham would have a hit in the game, at least one. And the 13 hits, 8 runs that they put up in that game were of a very, very good merit for each and every time. The Padres would be 3 for 9 with runners in scoring position as compared to the 3 for 11 that the Philadelphia Phillies were. So with the bats waking up for San Diego, being able to really put a lot of pressure on the Philadelphia Phillies starters, ultimately getting them out of the game and getting into that bullpen where it's going to be a much weaker bullpen for Philadelphia than they would like it to be. Having those at-bats come in and having the Padres wake up in terms of offensively really bode well for San Diego. If they can carry that momentum, that offensive momentum into Philadelphia, this is going to be a much more difficult series for the Phillies than it seemed like it would be coming out of Game 1. And as we look at the 3rd takeaway, as I said, the San Diego Padres would take the game yesterday with a final score of 8-5. Now, when you look at what this means for the San Diego Padres, being able to split this series after dropping the opener, this should have been a game that the Padres lost. When you look at the way that the Philadelphia Phillies kind of came out hot, put up 4 runs early, the Padres could have packed it in. They could have checked out and been like, man, this was, tough start, trying to win one here at home before going to Philadelphia. But they didn't. They didn't pack it in. They were continuing to battle. They were absolutely building and stringing hits together. Being able to come up with some really big clutch hits is really going to be how they've got back into it. Being able to, after dropping Game 1 at home, to split the series, the opening set of this, at home in San Diego before heading to Philadelphia is going to be a good mark. Because now, if you can take one of these 2 games one of these 3 games, I should say, in Philadelphia, you can guarantee that you go back home at least for one more. So being able to get back to San Diego is going to be of the utmost importance for the Padres. If they can win it all, if they can run the table and sweep in Philadelphia, it's going to be a much difficult task for them to do. I don't necessarily think that with the way that Philadelphia kind of builds around their ballpark, the way that their fans and the city kind of really rallies and builds them up in a big way, that it's going to be easy to be able to do that. I think that if San Diego can come away with at least one of these 3 games and get back to San Diego, it's going to be of the best possible scenario for them going into this championship series as we head to the next 3 games in Philadelphia. So for San Diego, being able to come away with one of these 2 victories in your home ballpark, especially feeling like you stole it from Philadelphia after the start that they got off to in the early innings of this game too, being able to go now to Philadelphia with that momentum riding high, with the bats waking up, with feeling like, hey, if we can knock around these starters a little bit, get into that bullpen, especially the underbelly of that Philadelphia Phillies bullpen that is going to be a lot weaker, you now have a much better feeling, a much better chance of being able to walk away victorious from this series. Like I said, I think that with the way that Philadelphia is in their ballpark, with the way the city rallies around them, being able to come away with one victory for the San Diego Padres out of these next 3 games in Philadelphia will give them an opportunity not just to go back home to try to win it there, but the best chance that they have to be able to win this series and advance on to the World Series. But I want to hear from you guys. Let me know your thoughts, your feelings. Phillies fans, how are you feeling now? Heading home, splitting the series. Very good start because you wanted to at least come away with one of these, give yourself the opportunity to run the table, win at home. Padres fans, how are you feeling now that even though you lost game 1, you were able to split and now have an opportunity to head to Philadelphia with some momentum coming out of game 2, being able to build upon that? Let me know your thoughts, your feelings on this down in the comments, or you can find me over on Twitter at banter_baseball and keep the conversation rolling. If you've been paying attention to the channel, we have a new partner here with Lids. Make sure you check that out with the link in the show notes and description down below. And make sure you use the promo code LIDS25 and you can save 25% off your order. If you want to check out more from the Baseball Banter Broadcast, you can check out our merch shop, baseballbanterbroadcast.com. You can use the promo code Phillies or Padres, whatever your preference may be, to save 5% off your order. Keep it locked into the entire GLMG family with We Sibs, the Granny Geek Show, and of course here on your favorite baseball channel, the Baseball Banter Broadcast, by hitting the subscribe button on all 3 channels to stay locked into what we do. Keep it locked in all postseason long as we continue to look at the game of each of these championship series, as well as the latest news, notes, and my personal thoughts, theories, and opinions on the game of Major League Baseball.